Because, like with good podcasts, they have like the bits from the podcast in the beginning and then...
Good podcasts. Only good podcasts do that.
Black and white. That's the world we live in.
I mean, anyway, I think some podcasts can start out really.
I agree, but I live in a black and white world. That's why this is a black and white episode.
Those are called cognitive distortions.
They're called It Works For Me.
Well,
that's why we're going to be in this very binary episode of low versus high.
Okay. I guess there's no in between.
Just kidding.
But anyway, today we're talking about...
This is Sistas Declassified, the podcast where
Taylor
and Taryn,
your virtual sisters, share experiences, insights, and of course the juicy secrets that never leave the sister circle.
From navigating the millennial rat race to untangling the complexities of relationships.
We've got you, sis.
So shh, listen up. The Declassified convos are starting now.
And we didn't even welcome them. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to Sistas Declassified. And today, like I was trying to say, we're going to be talking about scheduling your time. And we're almost done. I know you guys are done hearing about Better Up and our ways to...
Improve connection.
You shouldn't be tired of that because our whole lives is about connection, right?
Yes, and that's why we are doing this podcast, to improve our connection. You hear all the giggles?
We're having such a great time. No, really. We're having a good time. I think it's a good time. So, how many times can I say good time?
Take a shot.
If you know, you know.
Ski.
What? What? I don't even know what I just heard. Anyway, scheduling your time. Basically, we're kind of talking about how you schedule your time to make sure that you're cultivating your relationships with people. Because how can you build relationships but by actually engaging with the people you're building with?
And not too long ago, social media was kind of up in arms and a this or that of the low maintenance friend versus the high maintenance friend.
Mm-hmm. What would you identify yourself as?
I am the low maintenance friend in terms of like not needing to be checked in on or checked up on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see each other, it'll feel like we saw each other yesterday if we're like actually friends. I'm high maintenance in that I'm not your friend for every type of event or occasion. And so that's something to consider, I guess, when inviting me somewhere or including me in something. And like
that comes make you high maintenance?
I mean, to some people it does. Like some people feel like I don't know, it's my event, it's my thing, and I want it this way, and everyone should.
And you'll just be like,
and either come or don't come. Right. And then I have to make a choice to come or not to come and potentially be uncomfortable or not come and like deal with the consequences of that. But that's not, I don't like put that on other people. I appreciate when people consider it. But I guess it's just a boundary I express.
So do you want them to invite you to these things or no?
Having the option is always nice because,
Mm-hmm.
like, sometimes I might be in a good space and I can go be somewhere in a crowded room where it's loud and we can't hear each other. Most of the time, that's not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, 9 times out of 10, it's your birthday, so I can do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's so-and-so's having an event for a fundraiser or, like, whatever. I guess depends on how strong my why is. Just a regular Friday night, I'm not your friend for that.
So you're not going to see your friend every other week?
Not if the activity is in a space I don't want to be in.
So what if you guys had bi-weekly hangouts at home?
Oh, that's beautiful.
I agree.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Drops the bar. That's great.
I
agree.
What type of friend are you?
I think I'm in between. I think I go through seasons. So right now I'm in my low maintenance season because I like to stay home and read my books. So that's all I want to do. And it's fine if you don't call me. Because you're going to be interrupting my reading time. No, I'm just kidding. But I think, yeah, like I kind of mentioned this in, I think maybe the boundaries episode, how I used to like talking on the phone. So I was a more high maintenance friend like that. I'd call people and be like ready to chat about random things. I think I have less things to say now, so I don't really want to talk on the phone.
Why do you think you have less things to say?
I think I used to freely give my opinion on random things. Now I don't. So that gives less things to say.
Got it.
And I think, yeah. So I'm not going to sit and tell you about my whole day. Because for what? And what else is there to talk about? Like my goals and aspirations. Once I share those once, I'm not going to continue to make you hear them. So, like, what else do people talk about?
I mean, I'm a talker, so I can talk about anything forever. As long as I'm in a comfortable environment. It's really about that environment, guys. So I
maybe
can't
it's
relate.
not that you're a low maintenance friend. It's just that the friends you have aren't in the environments that you want to be in.
No, I think I'm low key. So I just like to be in low key spaces. And I think I've always been a low maintenance person. I think it's gotten more extreme in adulthood and probably since getting married. But even when I think back to like my younger years, I wasn't like yes, I went out, but I didn't have like a group of friends who I saw every day and we did the same thing every day and we all went. That's never really been me. I've always wanted that, but then when I see how much effort it takes, I'm like, I'm good.
It's a lot of effort, and from what I've observed, everybody doesn't actually like each other in
Right.
those groups. Like, there's always some glue, right? Some person is the glue. Or maybe there's two people who are the glue. But, like, so then what are we doing?
And I've always been on the outside of the glued relationships, and so it never felt right.
So that's interesting. I wonder if that's the difference between a high maintenance and low maintenance friend. Because I feel like high maintenance friends are the ones who are in those groups. And maybe those groups broke in half at some point. Maybe it's only 2 of you now. But I feel like those are the high maintenance people. And the ones who are like maybe bounce from group to group are the ones who are low maintenance. I don't know. Let us know. Were you in a friend group? And are you a high maintenance or low maintenance friend now? Just curious.
So this relates to scheduling our time because... Why'd you giggle?
I'm just laughing.
I was just trying to give us a segue. So this just relates to scheduling our time, and that low maintenance friends might look at scheduling time with them differently than high maintenance friends. And the activities that you do might look different for the different types of friends.
I feel like I've had high maintenance friends in the past be like, scheduling your time like that means you guys actually don't want to engage with each other. So like,
I think that means I set aside dedicated time.
I agree.
Wow, what an interesting opposite perspective.
Like, if I have to schedule all this time and like do all this parameters for you to be around me, then we obviously don't want to be around each other, or you don't want to be around me.
And I look at it like I want to have uninterrupted time that I'm not thinking about going anywhere or doing anything else so that we can be connected.
Right. Like, I schedule it so I can be present. I agree. I also, I don't want to talk to you every day, and it's just like these one-off conversations that we don't remember because we have to make sure we talk every day.
Maybe low maintenance friends prefer intentionality in engagement, like in general, versus I don't want to call it superficial.
That's what I mean though about a friend group versus a close friend. Like, if you have that friend group and we acknowledge that I'm only actually close to 2 of these people, but I have to.
But there are 7 of us.
Like, so they don't necessarily have that intentionality in all their interactions.
Because how can you?
You can't. But then you like dwindle down your relationship, and now you need to make sure you have that connection because you don't have all those touch points anymore. We'll never know.
Well, this is probably why I didn't really stay friends with most of my friends from college. Because it was like the setting and the groups we were in that made us friends. It wasn't so much that we were all friends.
Right. They were my roommate. And then we hung out. So then it turned into we were friends for a year after college. And then now it's been 10.
Right. I have one roommate from college who we like intentionally check in. We like, all right, bi-quarterly, we're gonna, like, that sounds crazy, first of all, bi-quarterly,
Right.
but it works for us. It works for us low maintenance friends, because that was my friend first.
No,
She
that's
was
me
the
and
glue.
Simone we live 2 minutes away from each other. And we're like, we have to see each other once a month. There's no reason. There's no reason we live this close and don't see each other at least once a month. And we still don't.
Because you gotta schedule it.
But there's really no love lost. Like, we will pick up and it's just fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both fine with it. Because, yeah, it's just the dynamic we agree to.
So I think in adulthood, perhaps, us low maintenance people find each other, and those high flying, high maintenance folks find each other at the bar. I don't know.
I don't know where they find each other, but I just don't know how you could be outside.
It doesn't have to be the bar. It could be, the community group they joined, or the, the organ. I was being
the
a little
workout
cheeky,
class,
but the workout class.
The class pass. I feel like the class pass people, they find that group because they try all the classes. But I'm a halfway class pass person, so nope.
I was gonna say, you came from Pilates.
I did. I had Pilates just today, and it was great. Wasn't through class pass, so it was full price, but it was a great time. But I think overall, thinking about how we schedule our time for a relationship that you want to cultivate or grow, one time a month probably isn't enough.
Yeah, so I think if both people are intentional about growing the relationship, there probably just need to be some expectations around, like, what you expect to do together and how areas you expect to grow in. Because there's lots of different ways you can grow.
Right. It's like what brings us here today.
Literally.
Because, I don't know, would we schedule our time to go out to eat?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
I don't think it's because we wouldn't find being in each other's company valuable. It's that we wouldn't find driving to go eat somewhere valuable.
Okay. Would you schedule your time to sit on the phone with me?
It depends on what we're talking about.
See, no. But if we sit here...
But I don't talk to anyone on the phone. It's on my goals for this year.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying... I'm just saying, in scheduling your time, also think about how you both can show up and be happy to be there.
For us, it's a podcast.
Yes. and maybe one day, you guys ask us, maybe we'll want to go out to dinner. Not want to go out to dinner, but like, it's like, yeah, but driving sounds fun. Let's go eat and go out to dinner.
But we would go on a double date. I think we would go on a double date sooner than we would go eat, just me and you. What does that say about us?
No, yeah. What does it say? You have nothing to talk about. Not really. It's not even like that, because obviously when we're in the house, don't get us wrong, we don't just sit here and like not speak. You're like,
well, no, that's not true.
No, that's not true at all. I don't know. Maybe it's our lens. Maybe it's our perspective.
What do you mean?
On the dynamic.
Well, I mean, we have a whole podcast, so obviously we can
get along.
Obviously, we can talk about things, and we don't hate being in each other's presence. It's not like we wouldn't go out to dinner because we don't like each other. Mm-hmm. I think it's because we would find that to be... This is going to sound awful.
Not as fun as being alone at home.
Yeah, like, we would find that to be a high effort, low return activity. But, like, that might be true with most anybody. Mm-hmm. And there might be people we feel more compelled to go eat with.
We have no shame in not showing up for each other. In this way.
In this way.
Don't get me wrong. Obviously, milestones, things like that, we will show up for.
Even little
milestones, small things.
Is it because at the end of the day... This is going to sound
She's
crazy.
She's still my sister, so whatever.
No, I was going to say, this is going to sound crazy, but at the end of the day, we're sisters and not friends. Mm-hmm. And I mean that in, like, the most loving way possible.
No, I'm not offended. I think this is a good conversation. Because
I don't know what that means.
It's probably relatable for people. We can't be the only people who are sisters and not friends.
I feel like not every, but a lot of sister dynamics I see, most of them are
super close.
My sister's my bestie.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think.
And I love you
I don't
like...
think that's true.
I love you like my sister. Like, they either hate each other or they are besties.
Mm-hmm.
And the hate is usually, like, not warranted, but there's usually, like, a big sister was really mean to little sister for half their life. And, like...
From our last episode, it's not like she was really mean to me all the time. It was just enough to shape our dynamic.
I can admit that I was manipulative as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And not mean just to you.
Yeah, mean is not the right word. I think it was...
I wasn't as empathetic as I... Yeah. I wasn't as empathetic in certain areas.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, that's not the point of today. You were saying something else.
Oh, I was saying that you're my sister, but not necessarily my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that... And it's not even because we don't have anything in common.
Right.
It's
we
just...
watch the same shows.
We do. We mostly watch the same shows. We have similar hobbies. We do...
Well,
not
actually,
we don't really...
We really don't.
We have some hobbies that overlap. We do similar-ish work.
We just like to make TikToks. I don't know.
That's our only... No.
What other hobbies do we
Well,
have?
I was counting TV as watching the same shows as a hobby. You read more than me, but I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll take that.
We both enjoy learning about personal development. We just do that in different ways.
Sure.
There are things we like that are similar.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I think we're more similar than different. We just never really sat down to talk about it. And people tell us that before we see it also.
I mean, I don't think we're not similar. I don't know.
I think we're similar. I think we're similar enough that we could be friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think we're
similar enough that that's why we're not friends.
Yeah. Like, who wants to hang out with themselves? But, like, who wants to hang out with the mirror of themselves all the time?
I guess, but I don't think that you're my... I don't know. We'll have to dive into that later. But today we're talking about schedule and time, and we got off on a tangent. But I guess the point we're trying to say is this was our way to schedule our time so that we could build our relationship and connect in a way that didn't feel forced.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think encouraging you all to think about, like, if there's somebody that you want to connect with, what's a way that you can both be happy to be connecting? And I feel like a lot of the time when I'm trying to make a new friendship, like, I tried to be friends with a coworker, and we went out to brunch a couple times, and that was the wrong choice. Like, I genuinely think that we could be friends today, but because our two activities that we did first were both just sitting down eating, I think that was our downfall.
Right. So now that feels like the thing you have to do every time.
Not the thing you have to do every time, but because the conversation didn't just, like, flow and flow and flow. It was like, there was a lot of, like...
So...
Yep.
Got it.
And it was fine. It wasn't like there was a problem. But I think it was just, if we were to do activities, the reason we decided to hang out is because we said we had things in common.
So we should have
went and did those things rather than trying to, like,
talk about the things you haven't, like, you shouldn't have gone on a date.
Basically.
You should have gone to do an activity you both enjoy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so when you're scheduling out your time, think about that. Maybe you don't like to talk on the phone, so no wonder y'all's phone calls are dry as heck.
For real. That's very true.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I also think about that with family time as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is something that's come up for us in our family, and, like, feeling like sometimes we drove all the way over here to sit and do a thing we might be doing at our house, but, like, watching the channel we want to watch instead.
Right.
So it's not that we don't want to spend time together. It's more like what we do when we spend time together doesn't engage us or stimulate us in a way that feels like we're making new memories that are impactful.
Yeah. But I guess the question is, why do you need that for some people and not with others, right? Because there are people you can just go and sit on the couch and you guys are having a ball.
I think maybe the title or the label of the relationship plays a role into that. Because I could go sit up under Vashon all day and be fine. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because that's my husband. So a lot of what we talked about in scheduling your time requires both people in the relationship to kind of come into it with either an open mind or the same level of intentionality. Or expectations. But when do you know if someone's just a bad friend?
I guess if your messages go unanswered, if your events go unattended, if it's not reciprocal.
Mm-hmm. So if there are multiple spaces and environments to connect and they can't seem to show up in any.
But also maybe how they show up for you, right? So like maybe they can't show up to 10 events for valid reasons, but they can communicate that.
Right.
And also like make up for it. I think that's the part. And that doesn't mean like make up for it in the same way, but maybe that's like acknowledging that you missed X, Y, and Z events. And how can I show you that I still care about this relationship and care about like the level of relationship that we have?
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely the last minute canceler. So I am always like, please, let's get a brunch on the books. Let's get I'll come over on the books. Let's get something figured out so that I can still make sure to let you know that it's not you, it's me. And I appreciate your grace.
I think that's the big part. It's the it's not you, it's me kind of thing. Acknowledging that your shortcomings, I think. And that's in any relationship. So, like, whether you schedule your time or not, if you can acknowledge that, like, I don't show up greatly in this way.
Right.
I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, and I think the flip side is, and you can count on me in this environment 98% of the time.
Yeah. I think knowing not bucket, because I don't like that idea, but, like, what bucket your friend lands in. So, like, if you know that this friend is always going to show up to help you do something, cool. Then that's where you make sure that they thrive in your connection. Or if you know that they're your going out friend, they're always going to go out with you, then you just make sure that that's the way you guys connect.
Right.
And maybe you have those people who can kind of float in between. Maybe those are the ones that you're able to spend all day with.
Yeah, and you don't have to schedule as much. I got to schedule to everybody, but, you know.
I kind of do, but I don't.
I got to schedule and I'm going to be late.
I think I have to schedule if I'm the one reaching out to make the plan. But if somebody, like, quickly is like, hey, what are you at home? Let's go do X, Y, and Z. If I'm at home and I have no excuse to not do that thing, then I probably will.
And I don't even know if any of my friends, well, maybe. I have a few friends who might be like, I'm down the street. But not since we moved has that really happened, because most people aren't that way.
Right. I would say only Simone and Brittany is like that with, and as you heard, me and Simone still do need
to schedule your
time.
More
time. Which Brittany and I do too, but I could more likely catch her somehow, because I'll just say, I'm coming over.
Right. There you go.
And then that's that. But yeah. I guess thinking about you and your relationships, do you care about whether you have a low maintenance friend or a high maintenance friend? Are you the low maintenance friend or the high maintenance friend?
Maybe you're the bad friend.
Oof. Maybe you need some self-reflection and accountability.
But that's why you listened to this episode today.
Yeah, maybe you came here for a reason to reflect on how you might want to do things differently, or maybe some people you might need to let go of. Because some people might just not be worth continuing with sometimes. Gotta protect yourself. What did you say? I was good at setting boundaries. Not really. Only with family. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm pretty good at setting boundaries in general. Well, except for at work, which I highlighted. But yeah.
We're opposites in so many ways.
But you said we're the same.
In so many ways. Both are true.
Yes, both are true. But yeah, thanks for listening with us today. And as always, we're just opening the floor for y'all to reflect. I think reflection is the best part of life. Thanks for watching.
Bye.